gotta either find those aliens. The name is 7F, as you can see right here. And you probably wonder if this is my pod.
Sir, these are humans and not the enemy or aliens.
Human life forms, eh? Interesting. Also, what is going to be today again?
It appears today is October 1st, aka Halloween.
Halloween, say. That's a holiday, right?
Yes, sir. And closer on Fridays, this is scariest time of the year.
Perfect time to review. Interesting. Well, if that's the case, what are we reviewing exactly?
Nier Automata, Yorha, and Yorha Descent.
That sounds fascinating. Well, if that's the case, let's get on with the review then.
Lives is designed to end. We are perpetually trapped in a never-ending spiral of life and death. Is this a curse? Or some kind of punishment? I often think about the God who blessed us with this cryptic puzzle, and wonder if we'll ever have the chance to kill him.
Nier Automata is an action RPG where you play as 2B, and the story without spoiling much is basically, so a few years ago, these robots, or aka aliens, have taken over the Earth, and the humans have retreated to the moon. And now this organization is trying to take the Earth back, called Yorha. And yes, I hope I'm saying that right. So in the beginning, things start to get crazy. How, you may ask?
7E down.
7E? Oh, thank goodness. For a second there, I thought it said 7F. Alright, so even though this is an actual RPG, you do play, the traditional 3D spaces stuff. There are many times we actually play in these 2D areas. Like, for example, you see, there are these 2D shooters segments, and honestly, these are very fun. It adds a lot of variety of gameplay to the game. And honestly, these parts are very fun, but also be frustrated at the same time. But honestly, yeah, these are very fun and very unique, a lot to the gameplay. And a lot of times, you'll either be fighting bosses or just regular enemies. And the gameplay mechanics of these are very good, runs very smooth, and they're also very fun to play. And so when it comes to the purple orbs, there are two types. Some you can destroy, and some you can't, and you'll be surrounded by them. It is pretty tricky to get around them. And of course, there's other 2D segments like side-scrolling, where you battle a bunch of enemies. Well, sometimes a lot of enemies, but sometimes also a lot of giant enemies. And also, these are very chaotic, and you will get surrounded really quickly. And I wouldn't say these are like hard. I mean, you can easily battle your way through them. But honestly, yeah, I really like these. They add a lot of variety to the game.
I'm sure there's something I don't want to actually know me curious about.
What are you wondering?
I don't want to realize how one weapon instead of two like the other androids.
Oh yeah. So you guys don't know. Basically, when it comes to those androids, basically we have two weapons. Basically something like this, katanas, which are considered light weapons, or heavy weapons. Now, unfortunately, when it comes to me, I'm a defect, so I'm pretty much done with the light weapon, which I don't mind, because pretty cool katana, if I must say, designing myself. Even though the guy that, well, the people at Yorha didn't really like that I kind of listed decorated my weapon.
Oh, yeah, they got mad.
Yeah, but it's very fascinating. So basically what's fascinating about it is, so like an interview game, when it comes to light heavy weapons, they both have their benefits. The light weapons are much more faster and have more combo repetition, and the slower weapons are much slower, but they give a lot more damage. But the way they work in Nier Automata is basically, so you can actually customize it, where you can actually have, one light weapon and one heavy weapon, or you can have it where, which is kind of weird, but it's an option where you can actually have melee combat. But for me, for example, I prefer to have like the two light weapons. So another thing about the swords are about this that, So basically, they all have combo potential. Like some have like 5-hit combos, some have 2-hit combos, 3-hit combos, all of the stuff. And depending on what combination you choose, you can do a lot of attacks and a lot of combos. Like for me example, after I dodge, you could attack them and send it to the air and do another combo. It's very fascinating. I highly recommend when you start playing and you start getting the weapons. I highly recommend basically finding the weapons you enjoy using, because those weapons you enjoy using, you'll have a lot of potential in them. You can also upgrade them, and you can also buy them from somebody at a certain place, which I'm not gonna spoil because, but again, but you can also find weapons out in the open areas. Also, another thing I want to mention is the dodge mechanic. Now, this dodge mechanic is very helpful, and it's one of the things that allow you to do many combo attacks. Again, with the, I know exactly what it's called again, where you can toss enemies in the air, do combos like that, which is very fun. And you learn how to measure the dodge is very important because that will help you in a lot of these battles. Another thing I want to mention is that these little robots that follow 2B and 9S around, so those guys are called pods. Pods, and they're very useful when it comes to far away, long range combat. Also good for when it comes to searching for stuff or communicating with HQ. And honestly, they're very useful because again, especially with there's a lot of enemies around, they're good for doing a lot of damage. But yeah, also again, when I was going to spoiler, there's different other kinds, also other kinds that different androids have, and a lot of them can do different things. But you can also upgrade these pods to make them a lot more stronger. So when it comes to boss battles in video games, they can make the game great, they can break the game, they can make the game mediocre, or in between. But I'm happy to say the boss battles in this game are absolutely amazing when it comes to design of the bosses themselves, or the way they play, or how unique the boss battles are. So when it comes to the boss battles, I guess like any other good game, they're pretty easy at the beginning. But when it comes to Nier specifically, they're pretty tough at the beginning. I'd like to say you'll die at the first 3 bosses or so, but they are pretty tricky. But when it comes to the bosses like in the middle of, or probably the end of the game, of course at the end they get very, very tougher. And so in those cases, I highly recommend you get a lot of healing items because like any RPG or action RPG, you're going to need a lot of healing items because there were some times where I almost died, and like there's really times where I almost had like barely any health and the healing items same at the last second. So you're going to want to buy and stock up a lot of healing items because a lot of these boss battles, especially towards the end, are absolutely crazy and insane. Also, when it comes to these boss battles, so the boss battles actually, how do I say this? So they do kind of affect the game and the story. Basically what I mean by that is, so these boss battles, really tell a story and how the story is in the game. And with this game specifically, the dialogue you hear is pretty interesting because, especially with the robot aliens, they say things that are strange and kind of human-like, even though they're supposed to be portrayed as monsters. And at the end, when you defeat them, they show, like they say or show certain things that are very human. Like it's really hard to explain without spoiling that or going to too much detail, but yeah, I'm just gonna end it by saying the boss battles add a lot to the story, and honestly, these are some of the best boss battles I've played in so many games. Like these are some of the best boss battles in games, at least in my opinion. And again, this is where the dodging mechanics go to you'll need to learn because dodging mechanics save me a lot of time these boss battles. But yeah, these boss battles are absolutely amazing. Alright, so in this part, I'm not going to go into much detail or talk about these a lot, but what I am going to do, so I want you to listen to the audio from these few clips, and then after I'm going to give my thoughts about them. Not a lot, but only a little, because these robots or aliens play a lot of role to the game, and also the story in general. So yeah, so just listen to the clips right quick, and then I'll give my thoughts.
Don't let them take anything else from us.
What the?
Well, This is weird.
Let's be happy together.
Together. Together.
Alright, so again, without spoiling, they're going into detail. So the aliens or slash robots in this game are supposed to be interpreted as these monsters and just killers, all of this stuff. But when you play the game, the things you see them do and say are really kind of human-like, and a lot of times in the game they will say those things like us humans would, and like it's so hard to explain, but these this does play a big part in the story of how like how the aliens see the androids and how the androids and organizations see these aliens. And this is this is one of those stories in video games where you have to see and experience for yourself, because this is absolutely crazy. So yeah, the things they say and do are absolutely very interesting and it plays a really big part to the story. Alright, so I want to start by saying that this was one of the hardest games to review because, so when it comes to these reviews, I always write a script, but when it came to write the script, it was so hard because, okay, so I made a script, I was reading them for the video, right? But when it came to saying them, some of them I actually decided not to say in the script and to just say what I basically like. Okay, this probably not gonna make sense, but when I write a script and I write video, I always write it off the script, right? I always read off the script, but there were so many things that just I didn't want to say because it gave little too much information about this other part and that part. And what the stuff I said in the review so far, I made sure to not put too much where it will spoil the game or anything, but also at the same time I tried to put things where it will give you some context and this stuff will happen. But again, this anybody who played this game will know that this is a game that's very story driven. There's a lot of things to explore and see. Like even when I played it, there were so many things where I was like, wow, how did this happen? Or wait, what's going on? Or can we trust them? Or like just that kind of stuff. And when it came to, again, from the gameplay, the cutscene you're seeing on the screen from this review, I was like, should I show this? Should I not show this? Should I say this? Should I should not say this? Should I, like, there's so many things I wanted to say and show, but I hope that you guys really enjoyed this review. I really hope the things I said and showed did not spoil anything, or at least too much, because I always like to do my review spoiler free so you guys can experience the game for yourself. And yeah, I just hope, and I really hope when it comes to the Nier community, I hope I really did this review justice, because I know there's a lot of passionate fans when it comes to this game and whole franchise in general. So I really hope I did it justice with this review. So I really hope you guys liked it, and I really hope yeah, I did a good job. Now, one thing I want to talk about this game that, again, if you guys didn't know, this game was originally on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, and of course on PC, and it was really ported to the Nintendo Switch recently. And I'm happy to say that this is honestly one of the best games ported to the Switch. Like I want to see how this runs. This game runs beautifully. Like, I didn't see no lag, no frame rate drops, or nothing. I mean, I did see, like, I mean, not a lot, but I did see little pop-ins here and there, but it wasn't a lot. But overall, this game, like, okay, you just play this at your friend's house and they was like, oh, what system you're playing on? If you told them you was playing on Nintendo Switch, they probably wouldn't believe it, because this game, it just looks so good and it runs so well. So if you're a person who's watching Nintendo Switch is wondering will this game play or run good on Switch, I'm 100% happy to say that this game runs amazing on the Switch and you will have an amazing time. This is absolutely one of the best ports on the Nintendo Switch. Now also one thing I want to mention is that, okay, so when it comes to the characters, so there's a lot of characters in this game that are very interesting and add a lot of plot to the game. And one thing I wanted to say real quick is the relationship between 2B and 9S. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about too much because again, what you guys experience, but the relationship between 9S and 2B is honestly something very emotional, amazing, very well done. Like the writing for the characters is very well done, and it's like it's very hard to explain, but let's say all I'm gonna say is the you feel the emotions when it comes to the characters 2B9S and the stuff they go through, and the stuff they see, and stuff they have to do. It's just the writers did a great job of writing story, especially with the characters 2B9S, and you're going to enjoy following along with these two characters and many of the other characters. Again, I want you guys to experience this. 'Cause I'm not gonna talk about it too much, but you guys need to experience the game and to experience the story with the characters because you're gonna have so many emotions when it comes to the stuff you guys see, stuff you do, and decisions and all the other stuff. This game is absolutely incredible. Well, welcome back. Welcome. Oh, that went better than I expected. Oh, in case any of you guys are wondering, well, when it comes to us androids, let's just say since I'm the defect, I'm not able to do what the androids are able to do. But let's just say I got a few. What's that saying that humans say again?
I have a few tricks over sleep, sir.
Yeah, what he said. So let's just say I may be a defect, but I do have potential. After all, I can pretty much do anything they can do. Anyways, though, really enjoy. That doesn't make sense. Thank you guys for watching this review. Very interesting. One of the toughest reviews, but it was a fun review to make either way. And of course, once again, like my pod said, today is Halloween. So happy Halloween to everybody who's watching this. And again, I highly recommend you play this game, cause it won. Hold on. There's a reason why this game got many awards and nominations. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, what I usually say?
Please like and subscribe.
Oh yeah, that. And also remember, Autistic Nintendo Community, more than community, Autistic Nintendo Valley. I am, well, 7F, and I'll see you guys later. What do I usually say again?
You also say I'm inverted to the video game franchises.
Maybe excuse me. I'm gonna go take back Earth.
Glory to mankind.
Glory to mankind.